What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're going to be looking at the new arena, finally. I mean, like, when you actually think about it, the last time we had an arena was legit in December of 2022. That is so long ago, but we finally have another one, and it's awesome. I really love arenas, and I really hope that we get more of them in the future, because, you know, it's just such a shame that we are, you know, we're so hungry for content and we just don't get a lot of it, and when we do get it, it's amazing. Anyways, this piece of content is very fascinating, and look, the Sulongs go hard in this arena. I don't think that's much of a surprise to many people. I want to give a huge shout out to DylanOPTC, who is the original creator of this team, a Japanese player. I'll leave a link to his tweet down below in the comment section and in the description. Shout out to him. This is the team I'm going to be used to farm with, and, you know, even though I want to, you know, obviously build teams for you guys in this video, I want to show you guys the most optimized teams that I've seen. This team is amazing, and I mean, I wouldn't say it's incredibly difficult to build, but it has some pretty cool supports, of course, and we can get through this content pretty easily. Now, the really interesting thing here is this content is so focused around reducing your crew's HP, and basically when you reach certain stages, like stage 4 and you reach stage 5, if your HP is below a certain threshold, I believe it's around 50%, then more bad things get inflicted to you. So essentially you want to try and breeze through the content without really stalling too much, because the pain debuff is inflicted here on stage 3 once again. There's also poison on stage 1, but if you remove it by the time you reach stage 3, then you get inflicted with poison again. So there's just lots of little ways that they are really trying to reduce your HP as much as possible. And then what happens is when you actually kill REIJU on the final stage, she's going to revive and also inflict stun to your right side of your crew. And now, to remove stun, you need to inflict damage to yourself. So if you actually plan it out correctly, you can abuse the pain debuff to remove the stun for you, which is a really neat trick that I know some people are implementing into their team builds here as well. But obviously, the new PKA Sanji is an ideal character they want you to use, as when you use his special, when you're above 50% HP, he has the clock buff, and then he says after one turn has passed, he cuts your crew's health by like 90 or 80% or something like that. And that will obviously allow you to remove that stun debuff. So obviously the new batch and the PKA Sanji are ideally what you want to use to get through this content a little bit more effectively. Moving on now to team number 2, and I cannot take credit for this team. This was also from a Japanese player, but I felt like I want to show you guys some fast teams that are getting through this, and we have ShiRenOPTC, who built this team with Legend CatDog, with the friend captain of Ulti and Black Maria, the brand new legend. So we know that with the latest installment of Pirate King Adventures, that content was really focused around using Robin and Koala as the captain. When you have a look at this content and the way that it's built, you definitely want one of your captains to have Ulti or Black Maria, or at least that's what they want you to do, because you have the effect with the captain ability to deal end of turn damage, which allows you to get around the resilience debuff, or the buff on the enemy side of the field, when you reach the final stage versus REIJU. Another thing about that unit that's so good is the fact that Ulti and Black Maria provide an attack boost, and they also do a guaranteed conditional boost so long as your captain is a cerebral or a driven character. So if you're able to actually implement that, that's a really strong effect, as you can get 2 massive buffs from one special activation, and then their switch ability also providing a really good chain addition to give you some super solid damage just with one character alone. I think a lot of people are going to find stage 3 a bit annoying due to the fact that there's 2 enemies, but there's also a damage limiter, which means you can only actually kill 1 enemy at a time. These things will be answered in the upcoming teams, because I'm really excited to show you guys some of the teams that I've built in order to take on this content here. So with this team here, once again, they do have PKA Sanji to deal with the stun debuff, post-revive on the REIJU stage. Now, we do have Robin and Jinbei, who just continuously show why they are one of the best legends in the game in terms of a utility sense. You know, just being able to remove so many different debuffs, their switch ability, and even super swap to just generate matching slots for the crew. They're also the fact that, you know, Robin and Jinbei get access to a very good array of support characters too. There's really not a lot about Robin and Jinbei that's bad, aside from their captain ability. Their captain ability is pretty garbage, all things considered. But everything else about the character is actually really, really useful to have. We also are using Toadskii, the new treasure map Toadskii, and remember that she actually received a level limit break recently. You don't actually need her level limit broken actually to really make use here. The only reason why she's here really is because she's a Dex Cerebral unit, which works with the team, but also the fact that she removes some damage threshold and all of that, which is really, really nice to have. And then, of course, when we reach the last stage, we can literally just abuse the special of Ulti and Black Maria to give us really, really good damage from their special ability, activating Sanji, of course, to ensure that we can get the health cut once we actually kill REIJU on that revive turn. And then when it revives, we can just use the switch ability of the Robin Jinbei to guarantee some slots, and then use the Dog Cat special to get the KO from there. Alright, moving on to my own teams. The first one here is going to be using Legend Franky. Of course, if there's going to be damage limiter, we're going to try and use Legend Franky. And we're actually able to get a pretty okay team. I know that some other people have been opting to use Legend Franky as well. I'm not too sure how this team compares to other people's Legend Franky teams, but this team felt pretty good, all things considered, and it is a little wonky due to the fact that we are using Carrot as a sub, and when we make Carrot become the captain with her special, there's not a lot of synergy between Uta and Carrot because Uta doesn't boost Carrot at all, but Carrot and Uta as captain combos will boost the rest of the team, which is still really good, and that's what you want to achieve. You want to ensure that at least, you know, 5 of your 6 characters are hitting for super solid damage. It's not that big of a deal that Carrot herself isn't really going to be hitting that hard because she's not really attacking for type advantage anyway. The main reason why we do use Carrot though is because of her captain ability. When she does become the captain, being able to basically just bypass all those defensive effects. Specifically on stage 4, you're going to have to deal with barrier and also damage threshold, and then when you reach the final stage, the enemy has 3 turns of rainbow shield, so obviously pretty annoying to deal with, but, you know, it's actually not that big of a problem when we got a team such as this, and I was surprised to see how well this team actually did. This team was just a really wonky looking team. If you just take all of these characters and bundle them up together, it just seems like a really weird team, but it just gets it done, man. It just does. They're just characters that deal with the gimmicks and give us some more damage. I mean, Uta obviously carrying really hard with her attack and orb boosting effect that we can get for stage 4, stage 5, and the revive. Super powerful, as the enemy does not remove your beneficial effects throughout that entire course there. So Uta is a really, really key unit you can use. I mean, alternatively, realistically speaking, you could literally just use the Int Uta, which probably would work better. The main reason why I chose Quick Uta is because Quick Uta has the synergy with Franky. So because Uta does boost Cerebral and Shooters, I believe, with her 6-star plus with the quick version. So I decided we'll go ahead and use that. But I'm pretty certain, I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty certain that the Int Uta should also get the job done with the Franky and that kind of team composition. Moving on now to the final team of the video, which is going to be using Anniversary Zoro as the captain. Now, this team is probably not accessible. You know, it's a full team of legends and then a Kizuna rare recruit character that isn't very accessible, but I wanted to just see if it would work. And after lots of testing, there was lots and lots of issues that I came across, you know, not activating the captain ability when you needed to, or using it when you didn't need to. But this is what we come up with, and it is a little tight on damage. You probably could optimize it in some other ways. But, you know, I recorded this, it worked, and I wanted to show it off because it's just super, super interesting. So if you are opting to, or want to go ahead and farm with Zoro just for a bit of fun, then you can definitely do it. It's not the fastest team out there for sure, but the cool thing of having Hiyori as a sub is that you get the full board of Wano slots at the start. You can go ahead and consume 5 in that first turn, and then you can use the Hiyori special right before you move into stage 3 so that you can get the full Enma gauge activated. You do need that Enma gauge activated so that when you activate the full Enma captain, you are able to double the capabilities of that damage limiter, allowing you to kill Niji and Yonji simultaneously in one turn, which is really nice, so you don't have to worry about the attack down or the damage reduction that can occur on stage, on the second turn of that third stage. So that's really, really key, of course. And another thing is the fact that when you do activate that maximum captain ability of Zoro, that you do have to worry about your HP. Because if you have the level 3 captain of Zoro, the next turn you get a 60% health cut, and of course when you're below that 50% threshold, a lot of nasty debuffs happen to you, so you need a character that can provide overhealing, and the waifus are such a good choice because you can use them on stage 3 to remove the paralysis that's inflicted to the crew, as well as giving you some color affinity. So they're just a super good unit, and I think that's probably the way to go. Definitely some other units you could use, but this is still a really fun team. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys did, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.
Yeah.